Is this the last Metric Tunnox left in the wild? Yes, Rasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video from in front of the cans and bottles here on the bar, where I'm still ridiculously calling the Disco Arms. This video is 2 years in the making, sort of, somewhat accidentally. Being that this beer was brewed way back in the heady days of 2020. Remember them times? It's gone quick, isn't it? Way back then, the boys from the craft beer channel, Johnny and Brad, travelled up to Liverpool to brew this beer with Glen Affric, and they produced a 9.5% Imperial Stout called Metric Tunnox, brewed to emulate or inspired by the well-known chocolate confectionary from Scotland, Tunnocks Caramel Wafer, as you can probably see by the artwork. More about that later. They brewed it using only a traditional malt bill, a literal metric ton of malt, 8 different malts. They decided not to use any adjuncts, just to try and get that brewing skill of using only malts. So there's no chocolate in it, there's no lactose in it, just a straight up 8 malt Imperial Stout. It did a live stream on the craft beer channel to go with it, which Craig from Glen Affric came along for a chat about the beer. Because of that malt bill and the lack of adjuncts, a question was asked on that live stream, and the boys said this.
Can we age the second can? And if so how long? Yes, you can age it. There's no adjuncts, it will age beautifully. What do you reckon, Craig? How long?
No, absolutely. And I definitely think that you could age this really well. I think this would, we've definitely put some to the side to age to see how that would kind of work as well. You never know. When we release the barrel aged version, we might release an aged version of this very same beer. I would like to actually see that, to be honest. I think that would be very interesting. Because you would have the same aging effect, but one would be in a barrel, one would just be in a sealed container.
I got a can which I drank along with the live stream. I didn't actually do a proper review on it. I just posted a picture of me drinking along with the live stream. But I vaguely remember how it went. This is my second can. Now, I don't know if there's any of these left. I don't know if anybody else kind of just put it away in the beer stash and left it. As I say, I left it a little bit too long. On separate live streams the back end of last year, I actually asked the question in comments to both Craig from Glen Affric and Johnny, is now a good time to crack that second can? And they both said yes, but that was way back in October. I still just sort of never got round to do it, and I left it. Now it's 2 years. And although in that clip, Craig didn't actually say how long you should age it for, or how long is long enough, I think 2 years is probably long enough, don't you? So, without further ado, let's see. I don't know if anybody else has got any of these left. I'm not even sure if there's any left at Glen Affric. He did have a little talk about aging some of them himself and possibly a barrel-aged version. More about that later. But I have to ask, is this the last Metric Tunnox left in the wild? Let's see what a 2-year-old beer tastes like. Still a bit of fizz on it. It's still pouring out quite fizzy into the glass. A nice tan coloured head on that. Quite bubbly. A nice dark brown, almost black on the body. As I say, a fizzy tan coloured head. Dissipates fairly quickly. I could definitely smell some malt characters coming through as I open the can. Wow. Okay, so there's a lot going on the nose, on the aroma. You can smell You can still have a large amount of chocolate malt. But there's also a fruitiness, like a barrel age, like maybe a wine barrel aging almost. Cheers. It's a heavy one. That's a heavy one. The lack of lactose is not pastry style, as I say, so it's not massively thick, but it thickens up pretty quickly. I said about a stout a while back that it was this kind of cigar-like kind of tobacco kind of note, and that's got this as well. There's a bitter chocolate note coming through, like a dark chocolate. It tastes like it could have been barrel aged. It does feel like there's an aged note, an aged quality to the beer itself. And there's darker, richer, bitter notes coming through on the back end as well. It's not a massively smooth or decadent kind of chocolate that's going on. It's definitely a rich, bitter, dark chocolate note. I don't know whether it's because of 2 years. I don't think it totally reminds me of the wafer itself. I'm not seeing much, well, I'm not feeling much caramel flavour, I'm not feeling much caramel notes. I do remember commenting at the time that both seem to enhance each other. So a mouthful of each. Enhance both of them. I think the chocolate bar gives it more toffee and chocolate notes, and it just kind of enhances that with the alcohol, with the beer. It's an interesting one. Maybe I should have done it 8 months ago when I first thought about finally getting around to doing it. I can't say with any authority keeping it for 2 years has done it specifically any favours with the flavour. Whether it's enhanced anything, but there are some big notes there. I only did this by accident. I put it in the back of the stash and there's been so many other beers to get through. I kept looking at it and going, I must do this, I must do this. So I've accidentally aged it for 2 years. Whether that's helped or not, I'm not sure. It's still an interesting beer, it's still drinkable. You can see I'm going back to try and get more of those different notes in there from all the different malts. Kind of feeling there's something I've missed, something about the 2 year gap. As I said, he didn't specifically say 2 years, he didn't specifically say any amount of time that it should be aged for, he just said you could. I think I probably left it a bit too long, but it's still a very drinkable beer. As I say, there's a certain amount of barrel aged character to it. And because it's quite a heavy Imperial stout, it obviously holds up pretty well. The other thing to note, of course, is he did say, Craig, about putting some away in barrels. Now I happen to know they had a little bit of a problem with the artwork. I mean, it's pretty close, isn't it? It's not quite the right colour, but that diamond shape and the stripes, although the stripes go in a different direction on the can, it is obvious what it is. But they thought it was far enough away to be okay, but apparently they got a cease and desist anyway. So I think they did. So this is, as far as I'm aware, now that's a big claim, I can't claim that. I'm wondering if it is the last one anywhere, ever. Or maybe the ones at Glen Affric were just blended into something else. What do you reckon? Let me know. Do you know anyone else who's got a can of Metric Tunnox? Because this is my last one. Cheers. Let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I've been Disco of Rasco and Disco. Beer with you. Cheers.